All right, back again. Today I'm going to be working on the same track I was working on in the last session, which was session number 3. We are now doing session number 4, and I didn't feel like jumping onto another song, so I'm going to keep working on this one. I think I want to try adding some strings. I was listening to this earlier today in my car. I've just got bass and drums. This is where we're at with that. So I've just got bass and drums going, and I've also got some MIDI guitars playing in the background too, just so I can hear what's going on. And when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this could use some strings, I think. So I'll throw some strings in here, see how it goes, see how I feel about it, and give some insight on my string programming process. Before I get going, I want to mess with some settings. I changed up my volume settings a little bit more. And I just want to make sure that I'm not killing the mic too much with this limiter. I don't want it to sound too distorted. That seems like a bit much. This is probably fine. Hopefully the volume didn't get adjusted too much and isn't like too much. I should probably turn this down a little more. Sorry about that. Yeah, that looks better. Hopefully this works out well with the sound of my Cubase project here. Should be fine. Alright, so this is the 4th track on the album I'm currently working on. I know that I call this series Making a Pop Punk Album. This song is like the least pop punk song on the album other than the 2 short tracks. This one is much more metalcore. It's got a punky midsection, but overall, it's not really a pop punk song. Hard to say that this is a pop punk song or punk album with non-pop punk songs. There's also a black metal song on the album. Like, I don't. It's gonna be funny when I get to that song, and I'm still calling these streams Making a Pop Punk Album, because that ain't pop punk. So, one thing that I do when I'm working in projects, one thing I actually did offline is I went and disabled a bunch of tracks because they were killing my processing. Like, I tried bouncing these tracks and they were taking forever. So I disabled a bunch of these tracks to hopefully clear up the CPU processing on these tracks. And yeah, anyway, what I was saying is I like to organize by folders. I've got all of my vocals in one folder. I've got all my bass guitars, all my guitars in their own separate folders, and then I route those to their own group tracks so that I can do processing on groups. Say for all of my drums, like they're all separate tracks on Superior Drummer, but I like to group them together to do like an overall compressor or something like that. Or I've got Saturn 2, which is a saturation tool. Their own limiters, stuff like that. I like to route bass separately in case I have multiple bass tracks, guitar separately in case I have multiple guitar tracks. And I usually, but I'm not seeing one here, I usually have a bass and guitar track so that I can kind of mesh them together a bit more before going to my instrumental no drums track, which would include any strings or anything like that as well. And then I have a full instrumental with drums, and then my stereo mix, which includes the instrumental with drums plus the vocals. So getting back to where I was going with that, I have folders specifically in case I want to, like, all of these vocal tracks. There's nothing on these. These are part of my template. I can close that. That'll save a lot of space. Same with these guitars. I'm not doing guitars right now. Bass, I'm already done with the bass. I can close the folder for now. I like keeping the drums open so I can see them, so I'm going to keep that open. But I'm going to go with my synth folder. This will be any sort of instrument tracks that I make. We're going to create some strings and see how I feel about them. I've got a MIDI keyboard down here that I can use to play along to. That might make it a little bit easier than mouse programming, but I'm not very good at playing the keys. Also, this song's in D flat minor. I don't know how to play D flat minor on a keyboard, so we'll see. I'll give it a try. I'm going to add an instrument track. And we're going to make this instrument track BBC Symphony Orchestra. This is the orchestra instrument that I have. We're going to call this audio outputs are going to go to my synths. group. And then synths should route to instrumentals, no drums. I'm gonna name this strings 1, maybe violins. How about violins 1? When I do violins or strings in general, or orchestra in general, I usually do group string or group violins 1 and 2, group violas 1 and 2, cellos grouped, bass strings. All of these are like group tracks, and then there's solo versions as well, like a solo violin, so it would be like your first chair violinist. Same with viola. But I'm kind of thinking for this song, I don't really need solo instruments, so I might just stick with groups. So these are what I'm talking about. I've got violins 1 liter, violins 1, violins 2 liter, violins 2. Again, these are like your first chair on an orchestra. But this song is going to be more background with the drums and guitars, so I might just do the group ones. I might add in the leaders, just to see how it fills in the sound a little bit. I don't know. This is all experimental for me right now. I've done a little bit of strings, but we're just winging it for this because I just kind of hear it in my head. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I'm almost thinking for the very first part when the strings come in to do I don't even know what it's called. No. Tremolo? Trill? Not trills. Not gonna be harmonic. New tremolo soul point. I don't think I want it to be soul point. I don't even know what CS stands for. I'm thinking just straight tremolo. Although, I will say the soul point has a bit more attack for each tremolo hit. I've got a little slider on my keyboard. This is just, I don't even think this is dynamics. I think this one's more volume. This, I think, is more dynamics. And then my left wheel would be pitch, but it doesn't seem to do anything for this one. And then what is, I don't even remember what all these are. Okay, let's do this. Dynamics, expression, adjust the level of the technique. So basically volume. All much. Knob. Multi-use knob for controlling various parameters of each technique. Sounds like it just goes a little harder. Almost sounds like a dynamic knob at that point. Click to change what the knob does. Current selection is reverb. Oh, it's reverb. Kind of like no reverb. It doesn't need it. Okay, what does this do? We can do release. That might have more to do with legato style. I'll just leave it. I'll leave the reverb. Oh, we'll add a little bit of reverb just to fill in some space, but I think we'll be okay. And then release, I'll just leave it as it. A lot of times when doing strings, it's good to mess with your dynamics and everything like that to make it sound more real. I think I would rather automate those rather than do them live because I'm not very good at playing piano. So I think I'll stick with that. And again, I don't know what I'm going to be doing here, so let's turn this to not always on top and we can pull it up when we need it. I'm just going to go with the flow. This is in, again, D flat minor, which I don't even know how to play. Mostly black keys. Chords. Oop. Oop. flat keys. Honestly, I don't even know if the song's actually in D flat minor. That's just what I say. One thing I was hearing in my head when I was listening to this was it just starting with the tremolo strings and then being like opening up as soon as the guitars start like changing notes into more lowy. But let's see how this sounds. No, I think a more legato would be better. So we're gonna stick with just that first chord. Nope, that's major. That's minor. And we're gonna hold that out until the guitars start changing, and I'll probably just end the recording there and add some stuff later. So let's add on the track. And then right there, we're gonna switch to legato strings. I think that should sound pretty cool. Let's see what this sounds like. I think I'm gonna just cut these right to start right at that. It might sound a little weird, but let's see. I almost want it to be bing. Like starting with the guitar octaves. Now, these are way too loud compared to what's going on, which is interesting because usually when I'm doing strings and stuff, they seem way too quiet. Let me back up. We'll just do it on the mixer. Let's pull these down a bit. I'm going to pull these all the way out to here, and then we're going to do a change of technique. We're going to go to the first page. I'm thinking long. The one thing about legato I don't like is typically legato is single note rather than chords, and I think these are going to all be chords. Let's go with long, and that should, let's see, yeah. I don't know the chords. We start with D minor, and then it goes to, I can pull up the tablet file for this. I can get an idea. I'll just play along with it and see how it goes. I don't know. We'll just wing it, see what kind of notes we can come up with. I need to do a note here where, is there a button for drawing a note? Okay, so this is going to start on the, we'll do it right before the 12th bar. This is going to be a note that will change the technique over to long, which I don't really know what note that's supposed to be. Let me put this back to always on top so I can see what we need to go lower. So there's going to be notes that are triggering of change. I also want to make sure that I have a trigger point. Copy do. Am I actually pasting something somewhere? No. So we're going to do a trigger over here, and this is going to be that tremolo technique. That way, no matter what, it's always going to be start as tremolo. Sounds like long. Why is it? No, it's tremolo. Okay. I'm almost tempted to change it to tremolo soul point. Honestly, I don't even know what soul point means. I think it's a technique of how you hit the strings or how you hold a note on the fretboard, but I really don't know. I know it's not harmonics, but no, we'll go back to regular tremolo. It just feels more right. Okay, so switching over to legato, or long, I should say, and then we're going to do a. So we're going from D minor. I could probably keep the D chord going there, maybe? I don't know. Alright, what am I doing here? There's D minor. I kind of like going down to this here. Okay, we can do this chord, and then we'll probably switch over to. Nope. This chord. And then back to this chord. Oh, not that chord, but maybe that might sound cool. D minor, flat. This is a B major. I wish I was better at playing piano. I like that little. I turned these strings down, but they almost seem a little too quiet now, so I'm going to turn them up a bit more, and I'm going to throw these over here. Can't see what I'm doing anymore, but that's okay. Pull these up so they can hear it. And man, I'm not very good at improv on a keyboard, but we'll try. I actually don't want to start on D minor, that's right, because we're doing a chord change. We're going from D minor for the tremolo, and then try this B major chord. No, not B there. Okay, we're gonna go to A. A major chord and then B major. I could be using this chord pad because I know what I'm doing here. I just don't really know how this chord pad works. Maybe I can set a key that it's in. How does this even work? Oh, I can change the chord. Okay, I don't care about A7. Okay, we'll start with C. We're gonna change this to A. Can I change the notes on this? On a sign pad. A sign pad from MIDI input. Okay, so there's our A. How I want to play it. We're gonna have a D flat minor. Actually, let's do B major first, because we're already right here. The sign pad from MIDI input. Our B, and then we'll do a D flat minor. A sign from MIDI input. D sharp minor or whatever, D flat. I also liked this one note that I did, or this one chord I did, which is this B minor 7. Let's throw this in here, or B major 7. Or augmented, whatever. Any other chords I want to throw in here? I wonder if you can like record from this. How does this even work? Use A as origin for chord assistant. Can I just play it and like hit record and it do things? What's the second chord? It's not D flat. It's not A. Let me go back and listen to these notes again. That's D. Okay, we'll add in another chord here. We'll assign it. I don't even know what that is, but it'll tell me. The B over D flat. Sharp, whatever. Let's play this and listen. That's my A. That's my B. Then we go back to D flat minor. And this is my B or D sharp. Yeah, that's the right chord. Let me go over to A. I think it's just a B chord, but I'll keep the B over D sharp, that's fine. Okay. Man, that makes life really easy. It's harder for like humanizing, but I think this is gonna make, at the very least, scratching some strings. So I am going to trim all of these up right at the 12th bar. We're gonna go with wonder if I can like pop this. Is that a thing? No? Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Record. Oh, hey. D. C sharp. B over D sharp. A. Go back to B over D sharp here. And do a B augmented. And then let's clean this up a little bit. I made a new run here. I can probably just copy and paste this MIDI track. I think I started with the wrong chord anyway, so it doesn't really. Cool. Close that. Open this. We'll open the MIDI event. Drop them in here and just kind of snap them to place. This probably should start around 15. I'm assuming these are about 4. Heck. That note doesn't even exist in here. Why is it there? That note also doesn't exist. I wonder why these lower notes are here. Maybe it's just how the chords are built out and it threw them in at the bottom. But since we're on a violin track, they don't actually exist. Cool. So 1, 2, is it 4 bars each? Let's see. Yeah. All right, let's drag everything over these lows for a sec. This will be more accurate. Starting on 16, so let's drag these notes all the way out to here. These should be on 20, then 24. Close enough. With these strings, I always have like a bit of a lag to them, in my opinion. I'm using the BBC Symphonic Orchestra. Sometimes I like to pull them to start a little bit before the bar, especially in rock music like this, because you want things to be punchy, especially when chords are just changing so rapidly with guitars. I'm gonna just listen to this and see what it sounds like, but this is our tremolos. I wonder if long is the right move. I wonder if we want to do, what was it called? There's one that had like a really long dynamic lead-in for each chord. Maybe flotando. Not sure. I'll have to mess with this a little bit and just play it over and over again and try out the different techniques. See what I am feeling. I think I will start it back here. Okay, this is my string track. We're gonna stop it kind of right here. We're gonna hit the looper and mess with some settings on my strings and see what I like. Long CS. I don't want spiccato or staccato. Long is definitely louder than long CS. Let me start my loop a little bit later so I don't have the auto trigger for long. What's cold? Like, no. Doesn't even, not like anything. Pizzicato's not a long. Long still time stuff. No, I don't want that. Long mark auto attack. Sounds cool, but not for this. Almost sounds like horns. I think I'm just gonna stick with long. Maybe I need to change the dynamics a bit. Yeah, we just need to record some dynamics on top of this. And then this will sound better. Okay. I think with the the tremolo, I want it to like start harder. So let's do some recording inside our MIDI event for dynamics. I'm going to pull this back a little bit just so I can see what I'm doing. I think this is how to do this. It's been a minute since I've recorded within a MIDI event. And if I stop all of those MIDI events, oh no, it's just inside here. Okay. How do I record in here? Record in editor. Is that what I want to do? What happens if I record now? Is it actually going to record in here? Not make a new track. Exactly what I wanted. Okay. So enable record in editor, and when you record with an editor open, like this, it won't create a new MIDI event. It's just going to record inside this event. So that's good to know. So we're going to start our staccato or our tremolo really hard and pull back and start to work our way back up, I think. That was a little bit too much of a jump. I want to turn a click out so I know where I'm at. Give it a little bit of breath. I almost feel like these B's over D's aren't very full enough. I might want to add in another note or change the B over D. Okay. So I did some dynamic recording in here. If I change this CC section to, I don't even know it says CC this is on. I'm just going to click through these until I find it. Maybe it's going to be under modulation. Nope. Why would it be on modulation? Breath? No. I could, instead of doing it like this, because I literally have no idea where this is going to be. It should actually have a dot next to it because I've done stuff on it. Okay, it's just under expression. Just look under expression. Look under the one that has the dot. Obviously. Okay, so these are all my expression points. I think there's a way in Cubase, and it might be Cubase 13 and not 12, which is what I have, to simplify this. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while. They're like a MIDI functions. Let's see what we have. I don't want to extract MIDI. That might be in a newer Cubase. I'm pretty sure there's an option to basically take a curve like this with all these million points and turn them into basically like one flow. But we're not going to worry about that too much. Although this is really obnoxious to work with after the fact. Oops, and I just ruined all of it by doing that. Maybe I'll do dynamic recording once I get the strings all in, just so I know what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, that's a better idea. I'm gonna get rid of all of it. I'm gonna just max it, delete them. We don't need it. It's not that big of a deal. I deleted all my notes too. Where are my notes? There they are. Okay, we're gonna kill all of these expressions. And we'll worry about that later. I want to fix my B over D sharps. Let's add in the E back again, so the D sharp. No, I like the D sharp. Or the F sharp. Where's the D? It's a B, the F sharp. D. Maybe I just need a fourth note in here because I really like the travel up and the travel down. That's what I don't like about it. There's no F sharp 0 in, or F sharp 2 in the violin track. Okay, so we're gonna have our chord do that. Yeah, I'm playing back on the keyboard again just so I can get a feel for what I'm doing. Do not know how to play piano. That's our D. This is our A major. And then our B major. So we've got a B. We've got a D sharp, which is here. Actually, that's not a D sharp. Yeah, that is a D sharp. And then we've got a F sharp, which is literally what I have over here. So, okay. I do like that augmented chord. I think it's really cool. Why did that sound off? What's wrong there? That sounds okay. And then this. Okay. A. Close that. This DAW is Cubase, I think it's version 12. It doesn't just tell me. Maybe I'll go to the about Cubase. Yeah, we're in Cubase 12. I haven't upgraded to 13 because there just wasn't really much in it that I needed. I've been using Cubase for a very long time, since I think like version 4.5, something like that. And then the first version of Cubase I bought because it was like a trial version that came with a guitar pedal back when I was in high school. And then the first version I bought full was 7, and I've kind of upgraded here and there since then. I don't upgrade every year, but whenever there's enough features in it that I like, I usually upgrade from there. So I think these strings, I'm gonna keep the low notes just running. We're not gonna do a new chord open. All the way to the 36th, and then at 34 we're going to augment the 5th to there, and cool. Might cut this and jump down, maybe. Let's change another chord. No. Nah, we'll just drop this back down. I might keep this augmented chord, I might not, and just do standard B major. I'm not sure yet. I'm just kind of winging the strings right now, so I just heard it in my head when I was listening back to this track and wanted to try out. So let's get a D flat minor chord, then B, then A, then back to B. Then back to D, and then do it all over again. Let's do these 4 chords. I'm gonna change my snaps to 16th notes. That way it's a little bit easier, and actually turn my snaps on, which they are. My quantize 16th notes. Okay, let's do 8th notes. It's bother me. I don't want to quantize length, quantize, snap to grid. How do I change my grid down here? I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. I'm just being lazy at this point. Okay, we'll just keep copy and pasting. I think that's actually the end. So cool. Let's listen to this whole thing. I need to turn these strings down a bit. They're way too loud. I almost want to add in a higher note for these tremolos. Let's start back here. Or maybe I could add in the leader. I don't like that higher note. Let's duplicate these violins. Go violins 2. Let's run into here. I think I need to change my channel. Let's go to channel 2. Change these to violins 2. Load it. No, of course not. Is it in... Where's the kill button? Yeah. Let's change this to long like I was on before. These violins are more harsh. I kind of like these. They probably sound great with the violin 1 as well. Also, yes, Cubase for the win. 100% agree. Been using it forever. I'm sure Logic's fine. I'm sure Fruity Loops or FL Studio, whatever they call it now, is fine, but I'm an old man. I've been using this since I was 12, 13, 14. I forget how old I was. No, I was like 17 when I got that pedal. Is it just working? Did I do it right? Okay, I think it just needed to load in the samples. Right now we are running into an issue with the whoa. Why is it like this? What am I even looking at right now? I clicked on something. Okay, that's just the guitars. I was like, what the heck? Okay, let me close my MIDI track so I don't have to look at those anymore. Get back to my sense. I also noticed that these aren't nested in my sense folder, so we'll nest those real quick. I'm gonna move this window out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And cool. I'm wondering if in Violence 2, if the trigger notes are different than Violence 1. They shouldn't be, theoretically, but let's zoom in. Oh. Okay. I thought we started on 4 for some reason. So this does tremolo, and then this changes to long. Okay, so they should match up. Listen. Retriggering, hold up. Dang, this one is so much louder. Do I have full dynamics on this one? No, that's why. Okay, let's bump this down to like half, so we're matching. I need to record dynamics, but I'm not doing that right now. Okay, that sounds nice. Now that I'm hearing this, it's not quite what I had in mind when I was listening to this in my car earlier, just from what I could hear in my head. It sounds kind of cool, and maybe I just need to fill it out more with just more instruments. Let's try adding in some violas and see how it fills it in. I mean, obviously I don't have like a full orchestra going yet. I don't know if I want that, but change this instrument to load it. Down the dynamics to 50. We can get some lower notes with this. Do I not need to be on the same channel, or does it matter? Oh, it doesn't matter because I'm running multiple instances. Okay. I work on music like once a year, so I forget a lot of things that I teach myself. So if I had one instance of BBC orchestra running, then I would probably need... I don't even know if this can do multiple channels. Some MIDI program, or MIDI instruments can, but... So let's open up my violas. I think there's a way to rename an event, but I don't remember. I will likely have to... No? Viola keeps the same trigger notes. Interesting. I thought that the violas wouldn't hold that. That's cool. Alright, let's drop this down an octave. I'm just gonna lower all top notes. Let the violins handle that extra. And this one, I don't think I'm gonna do the augmented fifth. And then we're just doing these 4 chords over and over and over again. Two times. Okay, let's see how this sounds with violas added in. think I want the violins to follow the guitars here. I don't even think I want it to be a leader either. I think I want the full string section to do it. So let's go into violins 1. Maybe violins 2 doesn't have to. Do a cut here, here, and here. Maybe I'll do a descend. Then this next one, start on C sharp. And that should line up with the I did this way too. Should have been quarter notes, not eighth notes. Yep, and then that runs right back into the B chord, which is cool. Okay, this does not mesh with the guitar note. I like the run, but it's not quite right. Maybe we can even do a let's do a F sharp. Let's play this. And then we'll go up half step. And then with that, let's do the augmented fifth over here. I almost want to drop this. Now we'll keep it a G, but we will do a re-trigger for the note. And starting here, we can just have an extra octave. No idea if this is gonna be what I'll stick with, but I mean, it sounds okay for now. Definitely need to record in the dynamics on these strings. Alright, let's start at the beginning. I feel like these strings are way too loud right here, but at the same time I gotta remember these aren't real guitars recorded yet. Although the tremolo does sound a bit more harder in dynamics than these legato notes. This last high note I want to go down. And then I actually want another drop. And then one more. Maybe I will do a fold out chord. Maybe tremolo again. I want this note to be back to the C sharp here. Let's trigger back in a tremolo. Here. Make sure we're... I like to, whenever I have long sections like this, because if you jump around, it keeps the same technique. So I like to have a few of these re-triggering every now and then. Probably on each chord, to be honest. I'm going to paste in a bunch of technique triggers for the legato. And then we've got our tremolo trigger here. Here's what that sounded like. That ran through. And that's the main reason I like to put in multiple triggers, so it doesn't just run the tremolo when you jump around. I need to actually change this chord back to a D sharp. This needs to be sharp. B flat. And I think I want it to stop here, and when I do the dynamics, I'm probably going to do like a kind of a jump on maybe the last, maybe even have one hit, staccato hit here. That might be cool. And then let's go ahead and add in a trigger for staccato. Where is it? I'm not looking at the right instrument. Let me pop this up real quick. Okay, we're looking for a staccato. I want staccato or spiccato. We'll go with staccato. Seems a little stronger. And I'm going to max out the velocity here for all of these. We're just gonna maybe not full 127, but let's do this real quick. Rewrite them. So maybe 118. Maybe that's a bit too much. Okay, now I don't think I'm gonna do most of that for violins or viola, but I will do this same thing. Go ahead and start here. Open up our violins 2 track, paste that in. Open up our violas track and paste that in. Violas, I've been lowering the high note by an octave. So we'll drop it down. Maybe 2 octaves. Has my D flat's been holding that chord? No. Can't I hear it? Because I got this soloed. That should be fine. Are my viola triggers the same as the violins? I forget. I know I just looked at this like a second ago, but I don't remember. Yeah, that goes to staccato. That goes to tremolo. Cool. So all 3 of these should now have solo these out and listen. I want to make sure I trigger in my staccato. Kind of cool. Maybe. We'll see. Adding in my legato triggers back for the violas because I didn't have that before. Just for my jump arounds because I do that a lot. And I want to hear it properly. One more. Cool. And then let's do the same thing with violin. Trigger in. Hey, legato. Okay. Now, let's listen to these unsoloed and see how I feel about it with the drums and bass. I almost think I need to do the staccato hit right when the snare roll kicks in. I liked the idea of it holding it a little longer, but I don't think that'll be right. So I think it starts on 69, right? Yeah. So let's just cut at 69, select all of this and pull it to 69. Do that on violins 1 and then viola. And then I'll probably add in some cellos too. I don't know if I'll do bass strings. I don't know if this really needs like a full freaking string section. Doesn't hurt to try, I guess. Thinking. I'll keep it like that for now. I'll probably end up changing that. I honestly don't think it needs the big staccato hit. I like it, but with the way the rest of the music goes, I don't think it's actually fitting. So, but anyway, let's add in a new track. We'll duplicate the violas and call it cellos. I don't know if I'm gonna have cellos 1 and 2. Actually, I do want to do this. I want to have violas 1 and 2, just to fill out the sound a little bit more. Let's open up. Change this to violas 2. Is there violas 2? Oh, there's not. Never mind. Okay, we can go ahead and kill the viola. And then make sure this wasn't broken because it was like giving me a save. Again, then cellos, or sorry, celli. Change this out to celli. Load it. And then let's go into the MIDI track, and what I did for violas is I lowered all of the high notes down an octave. I think I'm gonna do the same thing here. Actually, I'm gonna lower both the top 2 notes down an octave because I want the starting note of the chord, the lowest note of the chord, to be the root. Let's pull these down an octave. I might drop the whole thing down an octave. One more. I don't know if we want the... Do we want the 5th or the 3rd? I'm just gonna do... fifth chords? And then I'm pretty certain that the technique triggers are going to be different on this because it's in a lower octave. So let's see what we got. This... Oh no, it's the same. Oh man, that's awesome. Sometimes when you have instruments that are one pack, the trigger notes end up being different, but they're the same for all of these. I really appreciate that. Maybe I set that up. I don't know. Turned on my re-roll. Let's do this with the cellos. Celli. Oof. I don't like that. Oh, I know what the problem is. Let's drop this down to 50%. Okay. Are there any other instruments I forgot to drop down to 50? What about viola? Viola's at 50. Violins 2 should be at 50. I don't have that one open right now. Okay, yeah, we do. Alright, let's try this again. do like the violas, so I'll keep the violas. Yeah, I like it better without the cello. Yeah, the little staccato hit's weird. I don't think I might have strings for the whole punky section of the song at all, but I'll probably bring them back in the outro because it's just a breakdown again. It could be cool to have strings all through this. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to, but I'm just trying to listen to it in my head. Maybe. I don't know. I'll record the guitars first and see how I feel about it then. I hear it in my head now. I can't get it out of my head. I've very strongly considered strings through most of this album in my head. I don't think I'm gonna actually do that, but sometimes the intrusive thoughts will win, like here. Yeah, let's increase these MIDI events all the way to the end of the track. Then I think I'm just going to copy and paste everything. Starting from here. Do the first 4 chords. 1, 2. Where's the breakdown? I'll throw the strings in here. I don't know if they're gonna kick in a different spot. Oh, this triggers that. It's I wonder if I copied and pasted all of them. Did I do that? Yeah, I did. Nice. Cool. Let me get the trigger note back in, which is this one. Starting here-ish. Do it again for this one. I don't know what I just pasted. Did I paste a copy of everything? No. That one's got one. This one's got one. One has. We should be gold. Violas? Just want to look at it. Okay, that's what's throwing me off. There's no? I don't know. Okay, stop it. Have it. Okay. So let's play this. Maybe I'll just do and then pull in the legato with the next hits. That could be cool. So just straight staccato. I really wish it would just know where I was. For some reason it likes to start at the beginning. What's staccato again? It's whatever the heck that is. Okay. We'll do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then nothing. Solo this out so I can hear it. Okay, of course. Like that. Thinking the high note probably won't work for this. Okay, that is a F for staccato. Got do this here. Cut. Do. And we'll cut. Do. Somebody's got a tremolo. Oh, dang it. Gotta love it jumping back to the beginning for no reason. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now here. One, 2, 3, 4, cut. Oh my god. Killing me. Also, what's this? Maybe. Might be cool. I'll run with it for now if I delete this later. Go to 172. One, 2, 3, 4. And then I want to do it again, but then pull in the legato once the long hit happens. So let's go back to our violins 1. It's going to be these 4 notes, probably at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip, hit. So we'll do these notes here. Let's pull them out to 188. I'm going to need a new trigger note. Yeah, copy, please. Is it actually doing it? I don't remember what this trigger note is. It is a D. This is also a D. Is that a D? No, it's a D flat. I can easily remember that because it's the key of the song. Okay, let me throw back in trigger notes. This will be F. Okay, let's go to the beginning here. Let's paste that in there, paste it there. Let's throw in auto notes, trigger for every chord, so it'll be every 4 bars. One, then we'll do it again here. Already got one there. And then that's there, so now I need to do this. Where's that? 84. And we drag it out to again, not that chord. This chord, the D flat. So let's get all 4 of these. There's only 3 there? Hold up. Weird. Okay, so let me grab all 4 of these. At 184. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip. Up to 188. And I'll just listen to how this sounds starting here. Without the solo one. Why did everything get so quiet? What happened? Is that just me? For some reason, everything got super quiet. Stereo out looks fine. Oh, I hit the dim chord. It doesn't sound different to you. It just sounds different, I mean. I wonder if there's a short key for this, or if I just accidentally hit it. I don't know. I don't want the high notes in the violin. Too much. Really don't know if I'm going to stick with these strings on here, but we'll run with it for now. Some of these I missed a 4th hit for some reason. 3, 4. Are they for? to 196, and then we do our B chord again. And then we would just do full legato after that. Let's go to here. In violins 2, it should follow the same thing. In viola, I'm gonna have to redo. So that's I'm going to need to pull the technique triggers in again. I'm just thinking about that, and it's probably why it sounded a little off to me. 196 to 2. I need both of them. Do that. That. Go to the next one. Boom, boom, boom. And the last one. This will definitely sound a lot different once guitars are in. And I obviously do a little bit of mixing and some dynamic controls on these strings. But for now, it sounds cool for now. I might stick with it, I might not, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'll find out once I get everything recorded, especially vocals. The song's gonna have some pretty heavy vocals. Not sure I'm gonna pull it off, but on to D. It's the first. No. Chord 1, 2, 3, chord 4. Extend all of these out a bar so they're like that, and then copy and paste till the end of the song. Probably there. There we go. So that's where the slow breakdown happens. What if I do the breakdown rhythm here at the end with the strings? Would that be stupid? It'd be stupid, but let's do it. And it'd all just be low note. We wouldn't do full chords. This note. It would be a D flat. We will do a in staccato. I should throw down more legato triggers, but I don't feel. I'm gonna do it anyway. For there, let's do here, 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 there. Paste, paste, paste. And then a staccato trigger, and we're going full heavy. Let's go ahead and start with the viola. How close are these? Are these eighth notes? do. 1, 2. What's my? I have a hotkey for going to the end of a note, but I can't remember what it is. My hotkey for getting to the beginning of the note is L. I thought it would have been Control-Shift-L. I'm gonna go into my key commands and take a look at this because I don't know. I want to find it. I don't even know what it would be called. Control-Shift-L is lock, which is not what I want. I just type in L and it'll tell me what that is. Of course not. Type in key. If I do this, it'll tell me what it is. It's locate selection start. So let's go to locate selection. Do I have to click this to search? That's dumb. Control Alt Shift L. Okay. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have a nudge button. Is there a nudge button? Oh, that's way too much of a nudge. Can you change the nudge value? Also, my mixer went over. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to figure it out right now. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought it was 3 when I was recording bass. Do-do. Do-do. Do-do-do. Are you not staccato-y? It's gonna be so stupid. I think it's just straight from here on. Okay. So that's our stupid breakdown rhythm. Get to the beginning of that. Let's place this into my violins here. Except it needs to be octave higher. D flat. Is there not? No, there is. Okay, well, I went too far. Okay, so that brings it all down an octave. And I need F trigger. Okay, and then I might do an octave higher on the violence one. Just in fact, what I might do instead of that is an ascending thingy. Like make this like a fifth. Seventh. Minor seventh. I honestly don't like the higher octave. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Let's grab all of the violin 2 ones and then paste those in. This sounds so silly in the higher octave. Sure, why not? Okay, and then I need to go back over here and just paste in these string sections over and over and over and over and over again. Pull it out. Line it up properly. Should do what I did before and just do 2. And then drag them out together. 4 bars or 1 bar. Then copy and paste this over and over again. Alright, let's listen to a little breakdown. Weird. I don't have any dynamics recorded right now, and there's like a weird dynamic shift or something that happened. I don't know why. That one. What's going on there? Weird. Yeah, I don't like that higher violin. Okay, let's lower that octave down. It just didn't sound right. Maybe if I do a 5th or something. Yeah, the 3rd sounds a little better. I almost feel like this one might sound better as the 5th, the last one. Maybe. Sure, why not? Who knew strings could do a breakdown rhythm? I gotta do all the dynamic recording on this. I hate doing that. It's such a boring thing to do, but I would almost rather... What does this knob do? I forget. Oh no! A serious problem has occurred. Let's save. Okay. That's fine. I don't mind having 2 backup saves. I need to close Cubase. Why did it crash? Oh well. Alright, restarting my music program. This will take a few minutes, and I apologize for that for anybody who is currently watching. I'm going to use the current preferences because I don't care. Whatever caused it to crash had nothing to do with my plugins, I can tell that. Let's open up backup 1, and I'm probably just going to resave it as the original file name, but let me make sure nothing sounds off or broken before I save over what I've done. It takes a while to activate the project. That's not that long. I disabled a bunch of tracks. This used to take a lot longer to load in. But I disabled a bunch of tracks that had some heavy plugins on it, which helps a lot. Even though those tracks had nothing, they still took up a lot of power. I'll just keep it with the -01. I think that's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm going to delete the -02 because I don't need that. Cool. Save. Boom. Now let's get to the very, very boring part of strings, is recording dynamics. Now I'm going to click this button instead of this button. I don't know why that would make a difference, but so I want to adjust this knob, not this knob. We'll keep this at the top. I want to adjust dynamic, which is a little knob on my keyboard under my desk. So I'm going to record inside the event. Turn on my click track. Like I was saying earlier, I want the tremolo at the beginning to start off a little stronger and pull back a little bit. And I'm just riding this knob, as you can see with the little dynamics. It's gonna sound a little weird because I've got all my strings going together. I don't even know how this will sound. I should do a little bit of this. Strong on the dynamic recording. Maybe I shouldn't go down as far. Sometimes I have to do this a few times just to really get a good feel for it. I could stop. I don't really want to. I would like to start new rebos a little stronger, or a little softer, I should say. Okay, that staccato thing there just doesn't sound and fit in right. I loved the idea of it, but maybe I could make it longer. It wouldn't match up with the drums, but I don't know. It would sound better than the way it sounds right now, so let's pull these over. Interestingly, I can't hear. Oh, I muted that violin. Sure. Okay, let's do some dynamic recording on violin track number 2. Need to load in this here. I'll put it over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm adjusting this slider here. I like to start it right at the top of it. Let's record on violins 2. Got that open. I've got the wrong instrument loaded up right here. Sorry about that. Okay, I want that max, but I want this. Let's close that. Okay, we're adjusting this. We are recording here, starting here. Cool. That is violins 2. Now let's do violas. Violins 3. Let's pull up this one so we can watch my little bar that I'm adjusting with my knobby knob. Go to bar 3, why not? Start recording some expressions here. Let's go. Bees will get you. Accidentally hit that. I don't want that to be recorded like that, but I can delete that out. The left slider here is assigned to a touch sensitive pad on this keyboard. That thing's so sensitive, so I've got my palm like resting over it. That's why I kind of jumped, because I accidentally touched it with my palm. But I can delete that out, it's no big deal. I'm glad I caught it. I didn't like the expressions there at the end for the violas, so let's go ahead and hand edit some of these. Let me check the modulation. Okay, that's the one I was just doing. So let's go to the expression one, which is here. And just make sure everything's maxed, because that's how I wanted it to begin with. What is it at right now? I don't even know. Okay, so we're at full max, even though I deleted everything. Cool, that's what I wanted. So now I'm going to switch this back to the modulation. You can look at this. I wasn't really happy with what I ran with here. Like, that's just in your face. I'm thinking about just deleting all of those. This starts on 68. So right here, let's make a new point. I'm just going to drop down to like 50 because and we're going to do a little bit of a rise up to this point. Like that. Then we'll do this to give it sort of a slope upwards. And then let's do another one. 102. See how that sounds for just the violas. I might do something similar for the violins as well. Oh, I didn't extend these yet. And also these are on a new track. That's really annoying. It should have been recorded. Dang. I don't want to do that. I should be able to select all of these. Go to the start of it. Go inside the viola. Paste it. And it should match up. Then I can delete this. Okay, cool. Now let's just listen to the violas. Actually, I wanted to do this thing where I push these out to here. Extend this out to here. Now let's listen to it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's bring this over here just so it doesn't accidentally trigger early. It shouldn't, but just in case. And then I need to do the same thing for this one as well. That, drag these all the way up to there, bring this all the way here as well. And then I think I want to do a similar adjustment here. I kind of did what I wanted it to do, sort of, but it just wasn't very well executed. So we're gonna start this here, we're gonna have another one here, and then we're gonna have another one here. So it'll be like 15. This will be a riser maybe to 95, and then let's do slopey slope. Please. Cool. Then let's do a similar idea on the... Did it not record for Violent 1? That's a little disappointing. It should be on the modulation, but there's no modulations here. I know I recorded Violent. I could copy and paste from Violent. Sure, whatever. No, I need to re-record. No, let's paste it in and then we'll do it also. Under Violence more. Paste it. Okay, I'm just gonna listen to this. Sounds a little weird soloed out because of my jumps. It's almost too much. In Violins 2, there is this note here. kind of really don't like my deep drops like that. I wonder if I can like bring these up without it being crazy. Not really. I wonder if there's got to be a way to like average it up or something, or like compress. I can scale velocity. I almost think there is. Is there like a right click or something? No. Move vertically. I mean, I could do that. This is kind of a compression. And then pull them up. Is that cheaty? Oh, that's fine. See if this is too loud though. Sounds a lot better. I almost wish it was a little bit more dynamic. And I think that because I've killed the dynamics a little bit on Violence 1, it'll cover up the mass dynamic changes on 2 and violas. I actually really like how that sounds. That's nice. One of these sounds like a trill, not tremolo. Which one is it? Is it Violence 1? That says tremolo. Is it Violence 2? That says trill. Minor second. Look at me. I can hear things. I've got ears. This needs to be tremolo. What about violas? Tremolo. Okay, let me play this again. Sounds so much better. The tremolos are a lot louder than the legatos. I might pull the dynamics down a bit more on these. Let's do this. Let's do the same thing I did with the violin 1, but just for this section. I'm going to scale vertically and then pull it up. And then these here, I'm actually going to pull these over because they're a little bit too early. I wonder if there's a way to like compress left and right. Probably not. That just shifts. That's a tilt. Scale vertically. I want to scale horizontally. Can you give me more options, please? No? Okay, that's fine. And drop this down like that. Then let's go into Violence 2. I'm going to do the same thing. Did I do it for all of them together? That's 2. Gonna do something similar. Let's do this. This one's already pretty compressy looking, so let's do this. That much. And then scale vertically. Okay, violins 1 are still too loud here. Pull these down. Sounds better. Okay, so now these are, let's just do that. I'm gonna do the same for here. There's just too much of a jump. And same for here. I'm actually gonna pull these up a little bit. I'm gonna delete these. I actually like that. Run there. So let's do it like that. Should hopefully be a little bit more smooth. Okay, all of these are almost too much. Let's just do that. Pull this out. Let's do something like that. Do the same thing. It sounded like it kept a, there's a, what is that? There's a bad note there. It's in the violas. Maybe it's just my ear catching the... God, violin 1 is so loud right now. There it is. You hear that? Bad note. Caught it. Which one is it? Oof. Okay. All of these orange notes need to be shifted up. Better. Okay, I should record dynamics for this end part. I just don't want to. Oh, it's so boring. Okay, let's do violins 1 first. Let's pull this back over here. Mess with my little dynamics knob. Make this smaller, it's so big. Okay. I want this to start higher. Still got that bad note in there. I thought I fixed it. Weird. Fix that. Sounds so bad. I wonder if it's in violins too. Okay, I noticed partially through that I hit the expression with my palm. Where is it? It's not even there. Okay, let me... Maybe it's not even on read, it's just gonna play it normally. I feel like at some point it's gotta drop it, you know. Okay. There was the bad note. Maybe it's in violence too as well. Hey, geez, Puff. Cat's coming to join me. Hey, buddy. See if it's in violence too. Okay, let's record dynamics for violence 2 in this whole section. Pull up the instrument, put it over here-ish. That's probably fine. Then look in here. Save. It's good to save every now and then. I've been pretty bad about that today. And let's go ahead and add a max and just this guy. I do want the click track. Squash violence 1 a little bit, like I did at the beginning, because it kind of just brought everything together. I'm really surprised these aren't very loud. Might have to mess with velocities there as well. Okay, let's squash violin 1, because this is pretty dynamic. So scale vertically, do something like that, pull it up. Sure it's not too quiet. So just go over here. It's like too much. Okay. Now I will record the violas dynamics. Starting here-ish. That's maxed. With this knob here. And turn on the click track. Let's give myself a full bar this time. Okay. Kind of want to hear the rest for getting the feel. Totally messed that one up. I'm gonna restart this. I'm also recording on top, which is annoying. I should be recording in here. So let's do that again. I feel like I'm recording on top again. What's going on? Why can't I? I've got this little thing enabled. That's really annoying. Okay, let's try again. Maybe I need to click in here first. There we go. I had to turn my keyboard off because my cat climbed up on top of it. Oh, silly cat. I didn't like... That's not that bad. I thought I should have grabbed this and gone a little lower, and maybe I still will. Let's delete these. Let's pull this back to like here, and then give this a bit of a... I feel like the strings are a lot louder here than they were at the beginning. Maybe I've just gone crazy. That's about the same. Alright, I want to mess with these breakdown notes because they just don't hit hard enough. Ugh. One of these is so loud. Why? Is the velocity different? Let me check. No. Maybe on this one. No. Check the violas. Velocity. No, they're all the same. I don't know why one of these chords is just so much louder. Just feels so much louder. I'm gonna pump the velocity up to these to max. That's too much. Is it though? Because these strings feel so loud to me. Yeah, it's a little bit much. Trigger. Still a little loud. Let's go down to like 100. 102 is probably fine. Should be good. And then these guys plus you. Sure, why not? Okay. I think that's enough string stuff for today. I'm getting a little tired. I gotta go to work tomorrow after a nice long weekend, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. Appreciate anybody who has stuck around and watched, and for anybody who watches after the fact, hopefully you got something out of this. I know I don't really go into too much like explanation of what I'm doing, but you know, just follow along if you like what you see. Cool. If not, no worries. Thank y'all so much.